Hey, what's going on, you guys? Crayon98 here, and yeah, this is it. This is my first ever official YouTube video on the channel. I plan on coming out with a new video every other week to start, but maybe that'll pick up in pace as time goes on. But for now, we're going to do a new video every other week, and I thought I'd kick it off with a Valorant closed beta tier list. So obviously, a few things to note before we get into this, but one, Raze and Sage are still, in my opinion, I mean, you're gonna find out pretty quickly. They haven't been nerfed yet, and they're both pretty fucking busted, as you can probably imagine. If you've been on Reddit, if you've been seeing what people are saying on the forums, they're both like really strong characters currently. But I think they're both gonna get kind of humbled. I'm not gonna take that into account with this because I'm just gonna give you guys a straight up like what's, you know, where are things at 420 2020. Hey baby, blaze up. I'm just gonna give you guys a quick rundown of where I think each operator is at, and kind of just explain to you their strengths and weaknesses, and maybe where they're gonna be at even in the future. Okay, so getting into Brimstone. So Brimstone's like a really good field tactician. He's got a lot of great utility, and he does have a kill ability technically with his ultimate. The thing is about his ultimate is it has to be well timed. You get a pretty big heads up, and I find it actually surprisingly easy to escape. But newer players will definitely get destroyed by the Hammer of Dawn thing he's got going on. But if I'm being honest, I don't think it's a massive issue. With that being said, I think he brings a lot to the table with the fact that he has 3 smokes, which is more than anybody else that has smokes, and they last a long time, more than anybody else. On top of that, he has the Molotov that allows you to close off a position, hold a hallway, kind of close an angle out, and prevent retakes at times. So I find that to be really good. He's got a pretty good kit. I wouldn't say he's a star, but I would say he's definitely a middle of the pack operator. I wouldn't recommend him to a new person because you kind of got to know where to position your utility, but the better you get, the more you can get out of him, and he can definitely like determine a push. He can really stop a retake, so he's got some pretty good stuff going for him. It's pretty all around. So Cypher is he's my baby. He's my main. He's who I've been playing the most, definitely. I feel the most comfortable playing him. The intel he gets is pretty damn invaluable. I will say, like a lot of operators though, he shines a lot more on defense than he does offense. You know, every operator sort of has their side, I would say. Brimstone's pretty 50-50, but Cypher is for sure better on defense. Cypher just gathers all sorts of intel with his tripwires, his camera that he has unlimited amounts of. As long as you give him enough time, he can put up a new camera, even if you destroy it, as an E ability, so he gets that for free. It's really good on defense. I mean, that can be a huge difference maker. The information he gathers is very strong. His ultimate is okay. I think it's decent, but I honestly think his abilities are really where he shines, and not so much his ultimate. You get a pulse, or you get to find out everybody's location, but it's quick. You only get one image of everybody on the map. It can be a difference maker for sure, but at the end of the day, it's all information, and Cypher is really a character that, you know, he is what you make of him. So realistically, as long as you can put that information to good use, Cypher is very good. I would put him at an A tier just because of how strong he is on defense. Okay, so Jett. Jett is, initially people were saying the weakest in the game. Very early on, people were saying was kind of underwhelming, because if you look at her abilities on paper, it's really just movement. And, you know, she has a dash, she has a jump, she can jump twice onto crates, which can give you some nice off angles, but at the end of the day, a lot of other people have that, and they have other really good utility. We'll get to them later. But her ult is really good. And if you're skilled and you have good aim and you can easily headshot people, which, yeah, these are some prerequisites, she is a force of nature. I mean, your ultimate is pretty much an unstoppable gun. It's like an S tier gun that you only get one magazine of, unless if you're killing people. Then you get infinite magazines. So I think she has a huge skill ceiling, and she could be really good. you're definitely going to see, like, pros stomping with her. I think she's very good. I would put her in A tier as well. Alright, Omen. Omen's kind of interesting, because I'm going to be real. I have not seen an Omen player in the beta, and I've been playing for 9 days straight now. I've been playing every day. Probably a few hours a day because of quarantine, but if I'm being honest, Omen, to me, I've never seen an Omen that, like, blows me away with his abilities. It's really more so the person on him is just good with gunplay, but you could say that about any character. So realistically, Omen as a character, his teleportation abilities are good. They can definitely be abused. His ultimate, I swear, I've punished Omens more than I've been punished by his ultimate. I'll literally just camp where they're spawning, I'll hear it, and I'll literally just wait for the sound cue, shoot them, kill them for free with the op. So I almost feel like his ultimate, it's menacing to a newer player, but the more comfortable you get, I almost feel like Omen starts to get nullified, and his abilities start to get, you got to start playing a lot smarter, and you get less out of him, I feel like. So Omen, honestly, like, his smokes are decent. He only gets 2, he doesn't get 3. They're very slow moving, they don't last as long. His teleport's okay. It helps you get up to places, gives you off angles, which is nice. But again, you see him teleporting. You can kill him while he's teleporting. He's very vulnerable. He's a very vulnerable character. I would honestly put him at, like, he's, you know, C is not dog shit. C is, like, situational. If we're going to go through these tier rankings, right, S is, like, broken, needs to be nerfed. A is, like, fair, really good character. B is, like, average, like, brings good stuff to the table. Definitely not horrible. And C is, like, situational, maybe not the best pick all the time. Sometimes probably rather go with something else. And D is, like, dog shit. Okay. Phoenix. Alright, Phoenix is, it's tough to say. Phoenix is really good. He's really, really good. But is he broken? I don't think he's broken. His ultimate is extremely good. You get a free peek. I mean, if you have an op, you basically get to 1v1 the opper for free. Assuming they peek you while you're ulting, which would be bizarre. I think the smarter players you go up against, the more they realize to just walk away and back off when they hear you ult, no matter where you are. Because you do give it away when you ult, that you're literally invincible technically, or you get a free life. So that is a big problem. His flashbangs are both very fucking good. His self-healing ability, he has his own sustain, is really good. If you don't have a Sage on your team, but you have a Phoenix, you at least have somebody who can heal up and sustain, which is nice to have. I think sustain is really underrated. People didn't think it was going to matter a lot, but as I've been playing this game the past few weeks, I've realized how big of a deal sustain is, and how much healing and stuff can really impact a situation. Phoenix is very good. And his curtain's decent, blocks vision. He's probably an A tier. I put him above Jett too. This is going to be ordered as well. Do I think he's Cypher? Maybe I'm biased, but I still think Cypher on defense is unbelievable. I wouldn't say broken though, because he's not anywhere near as good on offense as he is on defense. So that's the trade-off. Okay. Sage. Sage. Sage is really, really good. Currently, I would say slightly overtuned, but honestly, really good character. She's always on your team. Everybody wants to play this character. There's guaranteed one in every single game currently. Usually there's 2, one on each team. Her healing is unreal. It pretty much it heals you back to full. You get it. It's not like a kill-based cooldown too. You get it every 35 seconds, I believe. So she technically has several heals per round as long as she's alive. And people need healing. And it heals you to full, so it's extremely strong. She has a resurrection ultimate, which can be a absolute game changer for retaking. And her wall is, every ability she has is fucking great. But her wall is extremely good, gives off angles, can completely stop a push. She's definitely broken right now. She's definitely overpowered. What would I do to fine-tune her, kind of put her into the A tier, make her a little bit more balanced? Her wall needs to be weakened, which I think they're already talked about how they're nerfing the wall, so that's good. Another thing, I think heal should be nerfed. Either you should only get one per round, or it needs to be a longer cooldown. If you're gonna give somebody full health pretty damn quickly, it should only happen maybe once or twice a round. And to me, that's still very strong. So that might not even be enough. But I think it, start small and see how that goes. But yeah, she's broken right now. Okay. Sova. Sova, in my opinion, is again kind of underwhelming. I think he's better than Omen in the sense that he has good recon. He can get you good information. His owl is very annoying to deal with, especially if they are baiting you with it and somebody swings on you while the owl is going out. It's kind of like droning out for somebody like in Siege. Very similar to me in the way that it feels and the way people are playing with it. I think the better people get, Sova actually gets better because they get smarter at utilizing his recon. And they make his arrows impossible to destroy. His owl is, you can be deceptively clever with it. You can do all sorts of shit with the owl. You can boost people with it. I've been hearing crazy shit with this thing's owl. His ult's pretty damn good as well. It's free vision. It's more recon, which intel is critical in this game. I would argue intel and sustain are the most important factors in a character's kit that I look for. Literally everybody at the top is intel and sustain based. So Sova's definitely better than Omen. Is he better than Brimstone? I think the intel he gathers is really good, but Brimstone also has really good utility. I would put him in B tier with Brimstone. So he's not a bad character. And I think the better you get, he might even go into A tier, honestly. But currently, that's what I feel like in general with Sova players. Viper. And I've played probably 100 games plus at this point of Valorant. I've been kind of no-lifing it. So I've played with a couple of these fucking Sovas. Alright, Viper. Viper, yikes. I honestly think early, newer players will think she's broken, but she is just not broken at all. If anything, I think she's very underwhelming. I think the only ability on her kit that I think is genuinely good and balanced is her poison pit. Her, what is it? Her C or Q? I don't know what it is. She gets two of them. They're like mollies. They slow. They damage. They're good. They're really good. And they can block. They can help stop a push. They can slow a push. They can cut off an angle. They're good. They could flush somebody out. That's a perfectly fine ability. Her ultimate, on paper, sounds really good, but I swear to God, people are just going to Vandal, spray the shit out of the cloud, they're going to fire a raise rocket, they're going to nade it out, they're going to use LMGs, they're going to use whatever they can to not go in your cloud, they'll probably kill you, unless if you have lots of cover. Realistically, her ultimate has a lot of prerequisites for it to become really viable. It's great against people that are trying to retake, and you have a good piece of cover, and you have your ultimate with you. It's like there's a lot of things you need in place for her ultimate to be really viable. And honestly, at the end of the day, all of that aside, they could just walk in and find you and kill you. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing that. Sure, they glow, but that's not a big difference maker. It's not like you have wall hacks in it and you can see through the walls. You have to still have line of sight. So I think her ultimate is actually slightly underwhelming, if I'm being honest. And her wall's really bad. I think she has the worst wall in the game without a doubt. It's way worse than Phoenix's. There's literally no downside to walking through a Viper wall. Nothing. You get everything back. It doesn't even really do damage. All it does is block vision. And sure, you can reactivate it. You can keep blocking vision. Dude, like, I can't tell you how many times I've just walked through the Viper wall and I've just killed the Viper. Or I've just walked through and I've killed somebody else, or we've taken sight. Because it's such a minor inconvenience. Yeah, her wall needs to either slow you or deal poison damage. I don't know, but it's really weak right now. Her gas grenade, same exact thing. Really, her only good ability is gas canisters. Those two, the C ability, I believe it is. I'm going to put her at C. I think she's worse than Omen, definitely. I would almost put her in dog shit, but her ultimate has some application, and her canisters are decent. Okay. Raise. So like I said at the beginning of this video, Raze is extremely overtuned right now. I would say she is easily the most lethal character in the game. She has several abilities. Every single ability in her kit can kill you, but some abilities she genuinely doesn't need to even really aim with to just destroy you. She gets 2 grenades that she can have on pistol round against people without full armor and insta-kill you, okay? It can completely stop a push. If you're pushing B on bind, okay, and you're going through hookah, she throws 1 well-timed grenade on a pistol round, everybody's dead. Every single person in that room is going to die. It will completely nullify a push. Her ultimate is a rocket launcher that she barely has to hit you with to kill you. Deals 275 quote-unquote chip damage. Okay? You can tell how I feel about this character. Doesn't fit for me right now. Of all the characters in Valorant, Raze to me feels the most Overwatch-esque. Does not feel like a Valorant character, feels like an Overwatch character. This is always what I say to people. Because her abilities are far more reliant for her than any other character. Like, she will kill you with her abilities. Not many other people have kill abilities, and the ones that do have them, there's all sorts of stipulations. She doesn't have any holds barred. Her rockets will destroy you, her nades will destroy you, she will stop pushes easily, she has a robot that will drone out a room for you and potentially kill somebody. She has satchel charges that can get you to off angles. I could create a whole video on how overpowered this character is right now. She's got to be nerfed. Like, I don't think it's even close. I have a good feeling she's going to get nerfed to shit. Okay, Breach. I think Breach is the most underrated character in the game right now. People don't really pick him up. People don't play him because he looks a little confusing, a little weird. But I'm going to tell you right now, he is a beast on offense. This man can clear out a site on offense with his ultimate alone. He has flashbangs through walls. He gets 2 of them. Okay, they're very good. You don't see him coming. You get a very quick Q. He does have stuns as well. The stun ability, I think, is okay. I think his ult and his flashes are fucking insane. He's got some really good shit in his kit. And honestly, and his blast, his breaching charge, I think that's an okay ability. He can flush somebody out. I've seen a couple kills with it. He's good. He's very underrated. I would put him right in B above Sova. I don't think he's better than Brim. This is where it's at for me right now. The Valorant beta tier list. If you guys enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching, firstly. And secondly, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and stay tuned for more content. I plan on giving you guys a new video every other week with a face cam in the next video, I promise. Crayon98 out, baby.